Oh, boy. Oh, boy. You know, you guys should really see the show before the show whenever we have this guest on. You know him, you love him. His name's Derek Gunn, Gunn on One podcast, Jacob Media. He's all over the place, basically. Gunner, how are you, friend?
Good, man. How you been?
I missed you so damn much. We had the post-game show throughout the Eagles season. I'm still waiting for you to say, hey, when do you want to go fishing? And, like, that never happens. But, like, it's just good to see you. You look amazing.
Likewise, man. You know, about the fishing thing, I don't know if that's ever going to happen, dude. I'm just letting you know now. I'm just telling you. Look, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings or anything.
Right? Okay. All right.
Only if we're at a body of water where we could have at least 50 yards between us. At least 50. I just have this reoccurring nightmare that you attempt to cast and hook me in the back of the head or something like that. You know, I can't afford to be down and out, man. I got to work.
Gunner, I'm gonna let you know something. I'm gonna see into the future. Okay. I'm gonna see into the future. You and I are in the same boat. You and I are gonna be physically not a ship. It's not gonna be a cruise. It's gonna be a rowboat, most likely. And that's what we're just gonna hang out. We're just gonna hang out, the two of us, have some good times.
Not with rods and reels, man. You're not getting that close to me with a rod and reel.
No, I'm gonna bring my travel espresso maker, and we're just gonna sip espresso, and that's all. We're gonna have such a good time.
Dude, no, I had one of your espressos. You almost killed me, man. My heart was racing for about half hour, man. I thought this is it. I'm coming to see you, Lord. This is it. This is the big one.
Let's go. All right, hold on.
I thought I was having a Fred Sanford moment for a minute, man.
We're gonna peel the curtain back just for one more second.
What?
It was right before a taping of Quick Slants.
Yeah,
I remember this. And I looked down, and you have your papers, and you're like this, and you're like,
thanks to you,
like this. And I go, "Oh, damn, how's that espresso?" And you're like, "Damn, man."
I sounded like Sylvester and Tweety. No, like, what did you put in this thing? Try to sabotage my show.
This is the stuff that normally happens before I hit record, and then anyway. Yeah. So this is Derek Gunn, everybody. Hey Gunner, the Eagles did something.
What is wrong with you, man?
I don't know, but this is what they did. They made a trade. I like the deal. I know there's a bunch of people out there that just hate Howie Roseman. I don't see how you hate this deal. To me, I like the deal. I told the audience I like the deal. Gunner, where are you on the deal?
I like the deal also because now it extends his draft capital for the next 3 drafts from now until 2024. It's funny. On my latest edition of Gunn on One, the podcast, I had Sal Palantonio on from ESPN. And one of the many topics Sal brought up was the fact that he didn't believe the Eagles were going to use all 3 draft picks this year. He felt they would try to slide one back to another year just in case they have to draft a quarterback. And lo and behold, sure enough, that's exactly what they did. And when I heard Sal talk about it, I was inclined to agree with him more and more. It makes more sense. And then Sal brought up about a point where Howie was talking down at the owners' meetings about you don't want to draft too many players too high and they're not able to play. And I said, that makes a lot of sense. You're drafting these first-round picks, and all of a sudden you have to make a definitive decision on them if they're sitting behind guys that are still under rookie contracts or you've now given extensions to. So it makes sense to draft strategically for exactly what you think you need now, where you can plug and play these young guys right now, and then continue to chain in 2023, 2024. Now, here's the thing for me. Let's say, and I'm hoping I'm wrong, I hope Jalen Hurts improves 150% for 2022. But let's say he plays very similar to what he did in 2021, which to me was mediocre. He had his great moments. He had a lot of not so great moments. So he was mediocre for me for the most part of the season. All right. The Eagles could still win the division in spite of Jalen Hurts' performance. And if that is the case, you have the draft capital now to look at the quarterback situation again in 2023, because I really don't think there's a standout quarterback in this draft class for 2022. So why force the issue and draft a quarterback this year? You, Mark, you know this as well as anybody, and I've said this multiple times on a variety of platforms. Jalen Hurts was going to be an Eagles quarterback in 2022. Jeffrey Lurie's come out and said it. Nick Sirianni's come out and said it. Howie Roseman has come out and said it. What more confirmation do you need? And I think that's only fair. Now, I know a lot of people are down on Jalen Hurts. They talk about his lack of arm strength and his ability to read defenses. But he's only been in Nick Sirianni's system one year. So you got to give the kid another year. And I still think, even with Jalen Hurts at the helm of this offense in 2022, I still think this team has a chance to win the division. When you look at, there's really no clear-cut winner. Amari Cooper is no longer in Dallas. Cedric Wilson has gone from Dallas. They lost La'el Collins as well. Carson Wentz is quarterback in Washington. How's that going to work out? I can't wait to see that one.
Well, good for us. Good for Philadelphia.
That's my point. And the Giants are still the Giants. They're a mess. They're in a new direction. I do think the coach is a good coach, and I do think he's going to turn it around. But I don't know if he's got the personnel to turn it around in 2022. So the Eagles could win a division in spite of Jalen Hurts' performance. Okay? Yeah. Which means now you have the draft capital again. You win a division, you get these young guys another year playoff experience, and you go back in the draft in 2023. And if that class is stronger as we're anticipating, that's where you try to nab your quarterback.
I could not agree more. I had been talking about this on this show. I think I made the prediction that Howie was going to hedge his bets when the report came out about the Eagles being after Russell Wilson, and then they didn't get Russell Wilson, and then obviously Aaron Rodgers was never going to come here, I don't think, because you know why. And then other reasons, I think that you look at the Philadelphia Eagles and you say they're going to stand pat right now with their quarterback, hedge their bets for next year. Now, what did you make of the words of Nick Sirianni at the owners' meetings when he talked about Jalen Hurts being in Southern California working on his stuff? He said he didn't want to out him as to who he was working with, but we all know that means Tom House. So he's working with a guy that Tom Brady has worked with. What do you make of Jalen Hurts' offseason regimen and how in tune the team is with that offseason regimen?
Well, if it's the person we assume it is, he's working with one of the best in the business in terms of working with quarterbacks. He's exactly where he should be right now. Jalen Hurts really doesn't have much leeway this offseason. If he is going to make a name for himself, if he's going to win over these fans in Philadelphia, he needs to be working on his craft every day. And it's not the big thing, not just the big things, it's the little things as well. So, the fact that the Eagles are investing in him to get better, Nick Sirianni is investing in him to get better. They're hoping that indeed he does get better as a quote-unquote NFL quarterback in 2022. So they're doing everything possible to improve his skills. Whatever the Eagles deem his weaknesses are, they're doing everything possible to improve those deficiencies and make him that much better in 2022. Plus, now that he will be another year into Nick Sirianni's system, Sirianni will have a better understanding of what exactly Jalen Hurts can do and cannot do. He'll streamline their playbook even more for Jalen Hurts to suit his strengths more so than exploit his weaknesses.
I assume you're in the same boat as I am, figuratively speaking this time. When it comes to Jalen Hurts, as far as it's hard to bet against a guy with a work ethic as good as his?
First of all, let's get the word boat out of the vocabulary. You keep talking about the word boat. We're not getting in the same boat. Okay.
You and I are the same thought process.
We are of one accord. We are of the same mind right now. So yes, Jalen Hurts. I don't know if his arm strength will get that much better than what it already is, but you can still be a winner in the NFL with not being able to throw the ball a country mile. A lot of teams dink and dunk their way down the field if you have the right personnel surrounding them. He's fine in the intermediate game. He just needs more accuracy. He just needs to read defenses a little bit better. He can't be missing guys in wide open spaces. Those are some of the things that he's hopefully working on out in Southern California. So the fact that, people are down on him because he can't throw the ball, 60, 70 yards on a dime consistently. So what? You would like to have that attribute in his game, but if it doesn't exist consistently, then again, it goes back to what I said a few moments ago. Then Nick Sirianni as a head coach says, okay, we will still take our shots just to make a defense play a little bit more honest, but we really can chew people up in the intermediate game, 15, 20 yards here and there, and still be a very successful offense.
I'm with you 100% there. So let's see if we're on the same accord with this. When you look at a guy like Nick Foles, okay?
Right.
I have said Nick Foles didn't have like upper echelon arm strength, but he could dot the I down the field. For me, with Jalen Hurts, I think he can make the throw physically, put it in the vicinity of, but he can't dot the I. So going into next season, I think if Jalen Hurts' arm strength stays the same, but his accuracy jumps up a lot of notches, then I think we're talking about a quarterback we can invest in for the future. Where are you on that?
I don't know if invest for the future is the accurate word, but I do think the product will be that much better if he can dot the I.
Okay.
And he's got to get sharper in that regard. He's on a smaller side when you look at the quarterbacks nowadays. He's not the tallest quarterback out there. I think he's a great athlete playing quarterback right now. Now you want to refine his skills to make him a much better quarterback. And hopefully that's exactly what is going to happen for this team and for Jalen in particular in 2022. We sit here as lounge chair quarterbacks trying to critique Jalen Hurts, but we don't know exactly what the Eagles organization thinks of Jalen Hurts. Mm-hmm. Do they think he has a long-term future with this organization? Do they think he's just a quick stop, a holdover until they get something that they like in 2023 or 2024 for that matter? We really don't know what the coaching staff really thinks of him right now. So basically all we can do is speculate on what we believe could happen for this young man this year and beyond.
How would you like to be Jalen Hurts, where you were waiting to see if the Eagles would get 2 first-round picks? They've had two first-round picks. The Carson Wentz pick becomes a first-round pick. So now you're Jalen Hurts and you're competing against those 3 first-round picks, right?
Right.
And now you still got another 2 first-round picks to compete with again next year.
Right.
Will he do the same thing he did last year, say he's above it all? Because there's no Deshaun Watson. There's no imminent trade where Deshaun Watson's definitely going to trade it at some point. Just a matter of where it's going to be. It's a matter of that draft and that draft capital and the Saints and how bad they're playing with that hanging over his head yet again. Can he take that same pressure 2 years in a row?
Well, Deshaun Watson's in Cleveland now. The man got $200 million.
Right.
To go to Cleveland. But in terms of Jalen Hurts, I think that particular storm is behind him for the moment. What he had to go through in terms of just listening to all the rumors out there about the Deshaun Watsons. Then they bring in a Gardner Minshew. And even as the season wore on, people were indifferent about Jalen Hurts all throughout the season, and most of it rightfully so because of his play. Right now, everybody in this organization has made that commitment to him. There is no quarterback in the draft that's going to come in here and upseat him in 2022. There is no quarterback on the open market right now that's got the Eagles salivating that's going to come in here and just take the job from Jalen Hurts. He fully understands this is his job to win or lose, to hold on to, or to give to somebody else. So I think that part of the pressure is off Jalen Hurts for now. The pressure that's on him now is to show this organization, the fan base, and let's face it, he's auditioning in the NFL. Every time he steps on that field, he's auditioning in the NFL. So he's showing 31 other teams that he can play the game at this level, at an effective level as well. So those are the pressures he's facing right now. But those are also the same pressures every young quarterback faces in the National Football League. And I think he is beyond his years in terms of maturity in how he handled that situation in 2021. So 2022 basically is academic for him.
I'm with you there. So I have to ask you this, obviously, with the draft coming up later this month.
Right.
Eagles still have 2 first-round picks in this draft coming up. What are they doing with those first 2 2 first-round picks, my friend?
I still think they need to address the defense first and foremost. I wouldn't be surprised if they go after a receiver for the 3rd year in a row, considering how high they're drafting this year. They do need another pass catcher. Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham Jr., I don't see the Eagles spending big money to get the likes of those kind of receivers in here. They already got, a decent receiver from the Colts coming in here. I don't think he's the answer to their passing game overall, but, he has a history with Nick Sirianni, so he understands what Nick Sirianni wants. He's a decent receiver, but he's not a game changer, game breaker. I do think they need a bigger body, a body in the slot, a quality slot receiver for Jalen as a safety valve and to make those catches. As we know, a lot of these big body receivers now can make a bad pass from a quarterback look spectacular with their catches. And I think that's what the Eagles need. I'm not saying they've given up on Quez Watkins yet because they haven't. He's still raw and he's still evolving as a young receiver in the National Football League. But you continue to add to the equation in this passing game that we've come to watch over the last 10 years or so in the National Football League. But I'm still saying they still need to address the cornerback situation. They need to find themselves a future cornerback to complement Darius Slay. And I still think they either need to find another linebacker or another edge rusher. You can't have enough edge rushers in a game of football. So those are the things I think the Eagles need to address. To me, defense first more so than anything else.
So what about DK Metcalf?
What are you going to pay him? You bring him here. What are you going to pay him?
I give a first rounder. I give a first rounder for him.
Would you?
Absolutely.
Okay, and you I don't see the Eagles paying that kind of money for a wide receiver.
I don't either, but that's why I don't make decisions.
I just really don't see him have, hey, you get a DK Metcalf in the system, that's a game changer right there. That man's physical. He can play inside, he can play outside as well. And he can basically he can get separation in a blink of an eye.
Yeah.
This fan base would love to see a DK Metcalf in an Eagles uniform.
What would you pay for him? If you wanted him, do you want him? Well, you said he's good, so yeah. But what would you pay for him?
I'd want him, but if the Eagles are continuing to build with youth, then you may break the bank trying to pay this guy. Obviously he's worth the first round pick, to give up, but depends on how much more Seattle would want for him.
Right. Okay.
To me, that's where you pump the brakes, and because we don't know that, I couldn't even begin to give you an accurate description of what he's worth. Because he's worth something different to every team that would pursue him. There's some teams that have, they don't care about, draft picks, and, they'll follow that so-called New England Patriots, now Rams blueprint. We don't care about picks. We want proven commodities in here that can help us get over the hump. Some teams are going to stick to their guns and say, we're not giving up this. It's a rarity that we have this kind of draft capital. We're not going to give this up. We're going to continue to build through the draft, and hopefully we get it right. So it's a DK Metcalf is something different than each and every team that's even considering adding him to their roster.
A couple things for you. First off, I just want to make it clear that you are worth a lot more than what I pay you to come on this show. I just want to let you know that. So just get that out of the way.
Yeah, a bag of hot chips ain't cutting it, brother. I'm telling you right now. I'm just letting you know now.
Derek Gunn, my dear friend.
Yes,
usually I try to clear these questions with people before I ask them, but because I know you're a chameleon. You're a man for all seasons. I feel like I can just go ahead and throw you the Fast Five. Do you want to play Fast Five?
When you look at me and call me a chameleon, basically, I take that as I'm a man in hiding. I'm always hiding from somebody, especially in my house.
Yeah.
When my wife screams my name, it means she wants me to do something. I'm trying to hide. If one of the kids call me, it means they want something from me, so I'm trying to hide. If the dogs are barking too loud, that means they either want me to let them out or feed them, so I'm trying to hide as well. So I try to blend into the scenery wherever I am.
Not to be too personal on a work call that you and I are on right now, but my daughter now says whenever she needs me, she's 2.5. Whenever Emmanuel needs me, she had now taken my wife's word, which is babe.
There you go.
Literally, my daughter said to me 2 nights ago, the batteries in her Minnie Mouse nightlight went out.
Yes.
She yells down the stairs to me as I'm watching the Sixers, babe, Minnie need batteries.
You know what that means? She's got you right here.
She's got me.
This is it right here. That's
wrapped around, my friend. Wrapped around.
That's it, brother. I'm telling you.
All right. You want to play Fast Five?
Let's give it a try. I don't show you how smart I'm not.
Let's bring in the band. Fellas? Okay, thank you. There we go. We got the band playing. Here we go. Derek Gunn, Fast Five. Best job before you were in media. Best job before you were in media.
Oh, geez. I was working at a place called Farrell's Ice Cream Parlor when I was a teenager. I went from being a dishwasher to a cook to being a server. And that lasted about 6 or 7 months, but it was a fun job. There was a bunch of your teenagers working there. We had to sing these stupid songs when people had birthdays and stuff like that. I still remember the song, and my wife was like,
What was the song? What was the song?
The song was called, let's see. We'd have to take out, when people would order this sandwich called the Gastro, you really want me to sing this song?
I would love for you to. Hold on. Guys, cut. There we go. All right, the band's down. Ladies and gentlemen, the music stylings of Derek Gunn.
From the land of Epicurean comes some sandwich fit for kings, made with meats and cheeses and lots of juicy things. It's gastrically delightful. You'll think of it all night. It's the gastronomical delicatessen, Epicurean's delight. Yeah. It's embarrassing. It was embarrassing, man.
Gracious.
That's embarrassing.
That beat the hell out of the Chili's birthday song I used to get when I used to go to, not Chili's, Chi-Chi's, the celebration of. food. That place had a great boom, boom, boom birthday song, but that takes the taco, pal. Let's bring the band back.
I would only do that for you.
All right, now I'm definitely sending you a check. All right, first, second. All right, next question. Go-to fast food place. Go-to fast food place for Derek Gunn.
Woo! Wow.
I'm a journalist.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Go-to fast food place. Man, I'm gonna say Rivera's Tacos. Down here where I live. Yeah, it's not too far from where I live. So
Okay.
I'm gonna say that. Matter of fact, I was just there with my wife a couple hours ago.
Oh, fantastic. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, your wife's an amazing person.
Yes, she is.
When you guys were dating or in your dating days, what was a first date deal breaker for Derek Gunn? Rude to the wait staff, talk too much, whatever. What would be a first date deal breaker for the young and very single Derek Gunn?
You know, with her, there was really no deal breakers. But what would happen was when she was going to school, she was also working a job as a waitress. So when we would go out to a movie, half the time she'd fall asleep in a movie, and I'm like, "What in the world is going on here?" She'd fall asleep a lot. You know, she still falls asleep a lot. Wherever.
I'm jealous. I'm jealous.
I can't think of a deal breaker, but I'll say if there was one, that might have been it.
Just fall. It's like,
I'm sorry, like, hey, I'm paying good money for this movie and popcorn. What are you doing here? Hey, wake up!
Wait, this is my money. All right. Oh, you've been all over the world. You've been all over the country. Favorite city to travel to, Derek Gunn?
San Diego. I love San Diego. I lived there.
Best.
I lived there. I worked for NBC out there many years ago.
Oh.
And like a dummy, I left there. You know, but I definitely San Diego is at the top of my list.
Oh God, I absolutely love San Diego. And then finally, I'm curious for this answer.
Here we go.
What makes Derek Gunn honk his horn in traffic?
People who cut you off. Drives me nuts. People who cut you off.
That's good.
It just blows me away. People that do that.
You know, here's what's good about that. You're a good person because literally to do that, your life has to be in danger.
Exactly.
Yeah. So to honk your horn, your life has to be threatened.
Yes.
Me, I'll give you our good friend Taryn Hatcher's line.
Okay.
And I'm along these lines. Any minor inconvenience.
What?
Oh yeah, I'm not a good guy, man.
Yeah, I'm a patient driver. I'm not one of these guys that, you know, just want to run over everybody and, you know, get from point A to point B in a hurry. You know, there's times when I'm in a hurry, but for the most part, I'm a pretty patient driver.
Yeah, not me, my friend. That's the Midwest in you.
It is.
I am only from this part of the United States, man. It's now, baby. It's now.
You people are bitter on the East Coast, man. I mean, from Boston to DC, you people are bitter, man. I mean, see, us people in the Midwest, we're just good old country folk, man. We love to talk to everybody. You know, we take life a little bit slower than you guys do, man.
You certainly do.
You guys are heart attacks in waiting, man. You know, it's like everything's serious with you people, man. I've learned how to adapt in 25 years to the East Coast, man.
Yeah, we are definitely a different breed. That's what I've learned in my own travels.
Right.
Derek, if you guys aren't listening to Gun on One, well, what are you doing with your life? You got to listen to Gun on One with my man Derek Gunn. Follow him on social media. You know him, you love him. Our good friend on the Rothman Orthopaedics guest line, Derek Gunn. Gunner, thank you so much.
Always for you, brother. Thank you.
You're the man. See you, bud.